one mic.
All I need is one mic.
It's just different.
One mic with Big Mike.
The overall tenor of what he's saying is very stupid.
And they say his style is too urban for the radio.
Maybe it's not racism. Maybe it's placism.
Brother has to know his place, right, Bob?
One mic with Big Mike.
Things aren't always what they seem.
A sports talk show, but no subject matter is off limit.
Don't just tell me that the reason something's being done is because that's the way it's always been done. Because the first thing I'm going to say to you is slavery.
And now, your host.
I got the big homie here who needs no introduction.
Big Mike.
All I need is one mic.
Evening. Welcome into the One Mic with Big Mike show here live on Spreaker, SPREAKER.com. Also, Spreaker has an app. It's available for all your mobile devices. You can also catch the show live on TuneIn and at my website, onemicwithbigmike.com. Won't be doing any streaming video today, so if you go over to my Facebook page, though, One Mic with Big Mike, you'll see a link to Spreaker. Just click on that. It'll get you right up in the building. If you guys want to be involved in the show, you want to holler at me, let me know what you're thinking or how wrong I am about something, just text me at 404-902-8104. You can also tweet at me at the number one MICWITHBIGMIKE, or my preference would be for you to jump inside my live and interactive chat room. To do so, you must be listening via Spreaker or the app, or of course on my website, onemicwithbigmike.com. And right there on the streaming player, you'll see a little thought bubble icon. It may be dancing around a little bit. Just click on that, and a couple steps later, you'll be live in the building with me, able to exchange thoughts, talk ish to me, kind of whatever you want to do, man. It is a Monday, coming off another weekend, a beautiful weekend here in the A. I thought it was going to be kind of cold, and it started off that way, but, you know, the clouds broke, the sun came out, I got a chance to get outside and cut the grass and manicure everything all nice and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, it's pretty decent weekend. On Friday, quick programming note. Friday, we were supposed to talk to comedian, actor, writer, Miss Melanie Comarcho. Didn't end up catching up with her until after the show. She's on the West Coast and got the little, the time difference mixed up. So she will be joining me today. I made sure of it. I'm calling her. Don't have to wait for her to call me, which always works out better. So I'll be calling her, and we'll talk to her at 7:30. Also, I'm not sure how long of a show we're going to do tonight. Maybe somewhere around 90 minutes or so. I'm not really 100% sure. But at the top of the hour, after I talk to Melanie, we'll do my daily feature, which I call On This Day, where I give you guys some historical tidbits, factoids, and all those kind of good, juicy things from back in the day, from the history, back in the day in the history, whatever, of sports or whatnot. What up? Emmett Beans in the building. Let's see, where do we want to start today? Because I don't have a lot, man. I'm not going to be here all night. I've got some updates. I got an update on Lavar Ball. Some of the things that we talked about on Friday have been fleshed out a little bit, and your man is straight. He's a crook, dude. The dude's a liar. I call it like I see it, man. Your man is a liar. He's a con man too. But you know what? First, let's talk about basketball. Let's talk about this past weekend, NBA Finals. A couple teams no longer playing. Some questions I have, too, about like coverage, the way the game's being covered, and it's just things that kind of got under my skin a little bit. But first and foremost, on Saturday, Golden State Warriors took a 3-0 lead against the Utah Jazz. Your man KD got into it with Rudy Gobert a little bit, called him a PAN. If you don't know what that is, ask somebody. Told he was getting into it with the mascot, told him to get his MFing ass off the court. Like, KD's in straight playoff mode. And a lot of people are saying stuff like Draymond Green's rubbing off on KD. Y'all must not have been paying attention. Probably what it was, people were so busy trying to hate Russ while KD was there and had Russ be the shield for KD. But KD's been that dude. You remember when he told Mark Cuban to shut the hell up? Or, no, he said Mark Cuban's a dumbass. Yeah. Like, KD's been real temperamental like that. He had an incident with the media down there in Oklahoma City before. So he's that guy. You can't blame everything on Draymond. Damn it. The Cavs got rid of the Raptors, which, who cares, right? It's the Raptors. But coming out of that game, something very, very interesting. A couple things. the two stars of the Raptors were really lauding over one LeBron James, especially Kyle Lowry, and because of the type day I've had today, I didn't pull the sound for it, but essentially Kyle Lowry is like, yo, your man is a machine. He's getting better every year with all that mileage on him. He's still better than everybody else. Feels like he's faster and quicker than he was last year. Yeah, that's what happens when you're a damn cyborg, because you just keep getting better. Or there is there is that alternative, which I don't think as a sports fan you can ever find yourself in a position where you can definitively say no one's using something. You know what I mean? Like, oh, he's not on PEDs, because I will only say one name to you, Alex Rodriguez. He was the guy that was supposed to save baseball. He was the natural. He was the guy who was going to show you people how they could do it cleanly, and not so much so. So LeBron, dude's getting better with age and mileage. Him, Tom Brady. Look, I ain't saying, I'm just saying. It's sports. It's professional sports. Like, dudes do what they do to get an advantage, especially guys who are chasing greatness. And that's it. Like, that's all. Like LeBron said, I think this week or last night, he has nothing else to prove. Yeah, but at the beginning of the season, you did say, and I think this is a quote, maybe, that he's chasing the ghost. He's chasing Michael Jordan, and he didn't elaborate and say it was championships or whatever it was, but he said that's the next level. That's the thing. And I you know what? I can appreciate that. Dudes who really have to find things to continue to chase, because what else is there for LeBron? He's a 3-time champion. He brought a championship to a place where they hadn't seen one since the 60s, late 60s or whatnot. Yeah, he's kind of earned his place on that Mount Rushmore of basketball. You know what I mean? So now it's all about taking on the challenge, kind of an unattainable challenge in the eyes of many, me included. I kind of reside on two sides of the LeBron Michael Jordan issue, and I'm not going to really have that conversation, because I think it's a dead one, and I think it's passé. But I will say this, because of Michael Jordan's place in my life as a youth, as a young guy, there's no way that anyone in my mind, or I don't know, maybe in my heart, I should say it that way better, would ever surpass what I saw Michael Jordan do as a kid. That being said, there is no way that I'll argue with, like, once LeBron is said and done with, he's retired and he's done with the game, I'm not going to have an argument with nobody that LeBron's the best basketball player to ever play. No, hell no. You know what I mean? Because I do think it's inevitable. Like, I know people are going to want to start talking about, but 6 rings. Michael Jordan never went to a finals. Okay, that's one measurement. LeBron is assaulting the record books. Playoff-wise, regular season-wise, he is assaulting the record books. So if that's your measurement, we got to talk about Bill Russell being the best player of all time there. And I don't think anyone's had that conversation. People like to say he's the greatest champion of all time and whatnot. But when we talk about basketball players, LeBron's probably going to end up being there. He's probably going to end up being that guy. And people can keep on trying to, argue it and justify it, or I don't know if the word I want to use is justify. They want to knock it down. But the reality is what it is. You, me, and plenty of people to come in the future have never seen that. Whatever that animal is, that number 23 is, you've never seen that. And you probably never will again. There's some guys, Giannis and Ben Simmons is supposed to be now 7 feet tall. He grew 2 inches since the time he was drafted, so he's now a 7 foot tall a point guard like Giannis. But we'll see, man, because a lot of what greatness is, it comes with longevity. Like, how long can you sustain it? Like, a lot of people have blips. I mean, hell, I think Antoine Jameson had like 2 or 3 50-point games in the in the NBA. That's a blip. You've had other people who have sustained a certain amount of high level play. Guys like Chauncey Billups. You know what I mean? But no one's ever going to confuse Chauncey Billups with one of the best point guards to ever play the game. But he had his time. You know what I mean? With those Detroit teams, he had his time. With LeBron, look, if it was over today, you've seen a lot. You've seen greatness in the flesh, man. And again, like I said, the argument for me isn't one to be had. If some kid is born in the year, I don't know, 95, He's saying LeBron James is the best player ever to play basketball. We're not going to have an argument about it because I know why I feel that way, and I know why that kid or that person feels that way. This is the One Mic with Big Mike show here on a Monday. We're going to be shutting down a little bit early today, but I do have Melanie Comarcho, comedian, actor, writer, joining me at the bottom of the hour. The other thing that happened out of this Cavs series, Kyle Lowry's going to opt out, and reportedly he's headed west. Which I looked at the teams that are the teams that are in contention out west. Maybe San Antonio, because Tony Parker might be done, and I don't think anybody's really trusting Patty Mills to be a starting point guard in the NFL. I thought about a team that should be on the come up, given a few things happen. The New Orleans Pelicans, you know what I mean? They got Boogie, they got Ant Davis. Boogie's going, his contract is up, so he's going to field offers. So if they're able to keep him, yeah, maybe, you know what I'm saying? Maybe Kyle Lowry fits out there in the West, but I don't see a lot of landing spots from him. And I know what it is, man. LeBron running these cats out the conference. Like, it's one of those things like, okay, who would I rather have to deal with? That monster that the Golden State Warriors have created, or the monster of all monsters in LeBron James? And cats like Kyle Lowry's like, you know what, dude, I'm out of here. Damn this. Bye. And the crazy thing is, for the longest, I've been saying that cats like Boogie should find their way, young cats should find their way east. Because, okay, I joke when I talk about LeBron being a cyborg, but in reality, he's a human being. He's got a couple of years left on his back to play at a high level. So what you want to do is what the Celtics look like they're doing. They're trying to be on the uptick while LeBron is on the downtick. Thing is, he just ain't on that downtick yet. So they're going to have to wait. But to lead to go west, I don't know. You know, it's because I'm not one of those people who look at the Western Conference the way a lot of other people do. I think the West is like extremely top heavy, and I think that top heaviness comes from Golden State. I think the Spurs are the Spurs in name right now, but let's keep it real in what they are. They're Kawhi Leonard and a bunch of dudes. LaMarcus Aldridge is a dude right now. He's not the LaMarcus Aldridge we saw in Portland. He's a guy. Patty Mills and Denny and Green and Manu is like 97 years old. Yeah, they have a mystique about them to where you can't count them out. But then that Houston thing happens. They just want to run you out the gym, shoot you out the gym. And they've done it twice in that series. And I'll get to that here in just a second. The Wizards, they tied a series with the Celtics. If you didn't see this game yesterday, man, it was a tale of two halves. Like, that boy Johnny Wall was like, look, let's go ahead and stop playing and get this over with, man. Let's go ahead and do what needs to be done right now, right here, and get it done. He went on like a 26-0 run. You know what I mean? And what was it at halftime? Were they up like 2 or 3, or was it tied at halftime? I don't even remember. I just remember all of a sudden sitting there and John Wall just happened. You know, this is without Brad Beal doing his thing. Like, I'm watching Brad Beal on the court, man, and when John Wall's not in the game, Brad Beal's trying to hide, man. It's like he doesn't have confidence in his shot. He's one of the best shooters in the league, and you can see him, you know, shot clock winding down. He's the offense on the floor at the time, but he won't go get the ball. He's hiding in the opposite corner, and it's like, that stuff like that is weird to me. And this is why, like the title for this episode is like, let's get to the finals. Let's just go and get to the finals. I've gotten all the storylines I need. Isaiah Thomas and his sister, you know, John Wall apparently now. All of a sudden, John Wall's the second best player in the Eastern Conference. Like, I don't know how that metric is done. I won't argue that, but the prisoner of the moment thing is weird to me. You know what I mean? Especially people who know basketball and people who watch and played basketball. It's just weird to hear that stuff get said, because last week it was Isaiah Thomas. And a week before that, it was Giannis Antetokounmpo. It's like, just, look, calm down. You know, like, John Wall's a cat who a lot of people had a lot of crazy, ill stuff to say about him coming out of Kentucky. And he's like my Eastern Conference Russell Westbrook, a guy who I defended in droves because I thought it was so stupid. Oh, look at him. He did the Dougie for like 5 minutes. So what, dude? I love a young dude that's going to put a target on his back and then come out and ball. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't a complete basketball player, of course. He's still not. He's working. That mid-range jump shot is getting better. The three is getting a little bit better. And year by year, you're going to see Johnny Wall get a little bit better and better and better. But it's such like when you start with the pinnacle, which is LeBron James, like second is a long way off of that. You know what I mean? It's like LeBron and then LeBron and then LeBron. And then you can come up with whoever you want to at that. You can come up with Giannis. You can come up with Johnny Wall. You can come up with Isaiah Thomas. All these people can at some point, based on a game, qualify. Because the next thing happening is John Wall will shoot 3 for 17 in the next ball game. And it's like, oh, man, what happened to John Wall? Nothing. He's just a normal basketball player. And if the comparison is the best, one of the best, maybe ending up being the best of all time, everyone loses. Everyone does. I wanted to mention something before I get into this Rocket series, because this kind of ties both of them in. Yesterday, Pat Beverly's his granddad died. You know what I mean? And it was a similar situation to the Isaiah Thomas thing, where your man was, he was out on the court and you could tell he had been crying and his eyes was real welled up. And that's what it is. But like I told y'all last week, like these folks got to stop that, man. Like trying to use these people's personal tragedies as storylines and trying to make some sort of reality TV-esque thing out of it. When like Pat Beverly is Pat Beverly. He hit a 3 to start the game. And it was like, oh, look at him. He's out there with a heavy heart. I heard that like 4 or 5 times in yesterday's game. And I'm thinking to myself, one has nothing to do with the other. At the very baseline of what you saw out of him, Isaiah Thomas, because I don't know if you guys noticed this, Isaiah Thomas's sister has become a non-story in the last couple games because he hadn't played well. And to me, that's not cool. You know what I mean? Because one has nothing to do with the other. These dudes are still out there competing against other people who, while that 48 minutes is ticking away, don't give a damn about your granddad or your sister. That's the reality of it all. I know people want to feel like everybody got a heart now, and that's not me saying they don't. But there are goals that are trying to be obtained by the people on the other, wearing the other jerseys. And they got time to feel sorry for Isaiah Thomas before the game and after the game, but not in the game. No one cares about that. And to keep bringing it up, to me, it's like, it just feels so exploitative. You know what I mean? Like you're trying to use this guy's thing because if something happens, you want to start talking about it like it's magic. Isaiah Thomas scores 53 on his sister's birthday, and it's like he's feeding into it. She just here with me. All I do for her. All right, now what about the games that you don't play well? Did she leave? She got bored, basketball boards in there? Like that can't be a thing, man. Just play ball. Just give people a good product on the basketball court, and then go handle your business with your family. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, all you did was come to work. I'm not gonna say all you did is come to work. Not gonna say that, but what you did was come to work. And I don't know that that's necessarily a thing, because people love to say what they say. Oh, it's like an escape. It's like refuge. Why does Isaiah deserve refuge and Pat Beverly deserve refuge and not the other members of his family? Like that's that like that vague peer pressure that tells these dudes you need to be on the floor because your team needs you. I don't know what their situation is with their family, how much his mama might need him or whoever is her, if she got kids. I don't know about none of that stuff. But to make it a thing where you keep bringing it up just in case Pat Beverly hits a big shot late, so you can try to make it out to be some sort of angels in the outfield type situation. That's not real. That's Hollywood movies. Like Cat still got to go out and ball. And Pat, I don't know what Pat Beverly shot yesterday. The only shot I remember is the first shot. I remember him hitting a layup late in the game. But regardless, he's Pat Beverly. He's definitely not Isaiah Thomas. He's not going to come out. He's not going to have no offensive explosion. I don't care who died. But that's what TNT and ESPN want to make you believe. Like, this dude is going to be playing out of his mind. No, he's not. He's going to be playing like Pat Beverly. Period. Isaiah Thomas is a baller. So him getting 53, you ask yourself, was you surprised? I wasn't. That dude gets buckets. So whether his sister was alive or if she unfortunately passed, like that dude is still that guy. he still gets buckets. Now, the last 2 games, you realize that Isaiah Thomas is still 5'7". You know what I mean? He's still a 5'7" human being, and they're figuring out ways to keep him from being who he's able to be, or who he's been able to be during the regular season. Now, getting back to this Rocket Spurs series, they're tied up right now, 2-2. Who was that earlier? What up, Reg? What up, Big L? Emmett says the Spurs are on decline. Like I kind of just bite my tongue in saying that, because the next thing you know, they'll like beat the Rockets the next 2 games, and then all that'll go out the window. You know, but what I will say is what I said earlier. They don't. It's not. This is not Manu. This is not Manu. This is not Tony Parker and Tim Duncan. This is not. This is Kawhi, who, my gosh, Kawhi is he's turned into something that's to be appreciated. You know what I mean? Like, again, it's the fact that he's playing in a league with LeBron James. It looks more normal than it is, but trust me, it's not. It's not. Take a good look, man. Kawhi Leonard is a monster. We made I heard him talking about how James Harden does against Kawhi Leonard. And he don't do that well. Of course not. That dude is the defensive player of the year 2 times in a row. Of course not. But I will say this. When you saw what happened yesterday, Kawhi can't stay on James Harden for 48 minutes, or for how many ever minutes James Harden plays. It's like back in the day when, Michael Jordan could not guard Reggie Miller all game long. It would take too much out of him defensively or offensively. It would take his legs away from him. So he couldn't just play him all game. Same thing with Kawhi Leonard, and James Harden. James Harden's a big dude, man. He's a big, strong ass dude, man. To have to, mess with that all game long, it's gonna be a problem. Here's the other thing about this game, too, and these 2 styles of play. They love to go into the post. They started Pau Gasol so they can have that high-low situation going on with their bigs, and hoping that Rockets team don't start getting off with the threes. And then you got guys like Charles Barkley who love to hitch their wagon to that. See, he said yesterday, that's the problem with being a one-trick pony. This is what he says yesterday. At halftime, with the Rockets up by 5. Like, I don't know. What are you talking about? What's the problem? I think they had 55 points at halftime. And then they came out in the second half and shot the damn lights out the gym. Ran San Antonio out the gym. Like, these cats who played in a different era got to understand that the game is what it is. If you can't shoot the basketball from long distance, you losing. Charles Barkley like to say, I don't believe in analytics. You can't believe in numbers. They just are. No one believes that 2 + 2 is 4. It just is. And the way the analytics, stack up, that a contested post-up shot is the worst percentage shot. A dunk or a corner 3 is what you want out of your offense. That's what the league is. The numbers have dictated it, and cats have won championships off of it. People don't look at the Cavs as a jump shooting team, but look at their jump shooting numbers. How many threes they took last year in the playoffs? I think they broke 2 in-game records last year, because I know one JR broke against the Hawks, and the other one might have been against the Hawks too. They shoot the basketball. Just because LeBron is out there, by the way, I think LeBron's shooting like 50% from 3 in these playoffs. The 3 ball got to be the equalizer, because think about it this way. What do they say? If you shoot 50% from 2, that's 10 points. I only need to shoot, if I shoot 3 of 10 from 3, that's 30%, but I still got 9 points. I can shoot a lower percentage from 3 and still be right in the game with you. And then you let a team like the Rockets get hot. Game over. Start letting Lou Williams get off, and this kid Gordon and Trevor Ariza start getting off, not to mention James Harden. Good night, man. Good night. Because what they're going to do also, what that also does, it ups the pace. And you see it happening with Golden State. A lot of times coming out in those third quarters when they just blitz the other team. It don't just happen because of the other team can't make a basket. They start pressing. They start putting their foot on the gas. Same thing that happened to the Spurs last night or yesterday. They put their foot on the gas, and the next thing you know, Patty Mills is shooting quick J's. and you got guys shooting LaMarcus Aldridge going too quickly. Because you can't do that. It's like a football team that's a run first team playing against a team that likes to air it out. Once you get down 3 touchdowns, you out of your element. The key, I guess, for the Spurs, they got to find a way to stay in their element. Get the Rockets to play their game. You know what I mean? Because they do it for a while, letting guys get to the bucket and try to defend it at the rim because they know the Rockets don't want to shoot the mid-range jump shot. Statistically, analytically, it's a terrible shot. You know what I mean? Take another step back, you got 3 points instead of 2. That's the way it kind of unfolds. The other thing I wanted to mention too, man, it's like it just felt, I don't know about y'all, it just felt as though the first round was so much more competitive and so much more exciting. And now, because, and maybe it's because I can look out and see what the Cavs are doing, not losing the game. What the Golden State Warriors are doing, haven't lost the game yet. They got the Jazz again tonight in Utah at 9:00. I think it's on TNT tonight. But you see what's going on with these two teams, and you see these other series where it's kind of back and forth, and you kind of realize what the cream is. You know, it's in San Francisco or Oakland, wherever they're at now, and it's in Cleveland. The other stuff is just kind of like, who cares? You know what I mean? And this is from somebody, I really enjoy basketball, man. And I enjoy watching, you know, the stars do their thing. I like to see John Wall do his thing. I like Isaiah Thomas getting busy. You know, I like James Harden getting busy. But for what? To what end? You know what I mean? When the games haven't been extremely good, it limits the things that I'm able to enjoy while watching. Oh, the other thing I think I forgot to mention in this Rocket series, Nene gone. He got a, what is it called? Abductor? Something like a groin situation. And you know what else too? I thought James Harden tore his ACL yesterday, or tore some ligament in his knee. I think it was in the third quarter when he clacked knees with Patty Mills. I didn't see him clack knees. It just looked like he cut, and I was like, uh-oh, that's ball game. That's series right there, man. My man, I thought he had ripped something, but it was just like the banging of knees, and he came back in and did James Harden-esque stuff. Where else am I? So I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I want to take a break here, and I want to get Melanie Comarcho on the line. And then after that, we got to finish up this conversation. Hopefully, finish up this conversation about Lavar Ball, because now I'm in a situation where I've stepped in the doo-doo now. You know what I mean? So I can't ignore it. Like, for a long time, I hadn't really mentioned Lavar Ball on this show and none of that stuff. But now that I have, as the story continues to progress and develop, I have to move with it now. I can't just like leave y'all hanging and not get y'all thoughts on it or whatever. I will say this, you know, to kind of just piggyback what I was saying the other day. Yeah, that dude is a used car salesman, man. He's a 2-bit hustler, not in the good way. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna tell y'all, I read an interview. I don't watch this show, the Skip and Shannon show, but they interviewed him, and wait till you hear the answers that he gives to like some pretty basic questions. They weren't even no hard-hitting interview questions. It was just like basic questions for him to pump up his business. He couldn't even get that right. This dude is Black Donald Trump, man. Straight up, he is Black Donald Trump. So let's take a break here on the One Mic with Big Mike show. I'm live right now on Spreaker.com, and I'm here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday starting at 7 o'clock. So make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Sign up for your free Spreaker accounts as well. Go to Spreaker, Spreaker.com, or download the app from your app store and sign up for your free account, and make sure you follow the One Mic with Big Mike show. Don't forget the show is also available on demand. Spreaker, the app, TuneIn, OneMic with BigMike.com, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Google Play Music, and YouTube. Like my Facebook page, One Mic with Big Mike. And holler at me on Twitter and Instagram as well. Same handle. If you guys want to get in contact with me during the show, just text me at 404-902-8104 or jump inside my live interactive chat room like these goons have, these ridiculous human beings have already. You can tweet at me at One Mic with Big Mike. It's coming up next, comedian, actor, writer, the wonderful, funny Melanie Comarcho.
I am
one question for you.
Do you or someone you know run a business that could benefit from additional exposure? The One Mic with Big Mike show is currently taking on new sponsors and advertisers. One Mic with Big Mike is currently syndicated across 8 different online platforms, and your company's name could be heard and seen across all 8 as well.
Let's get to work.
Please send all inquiries to Mike at onemicwithbigmike.com. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your continued support.
All I need is one mic.
Hey, Nick Cannon here. So of course we all know there's lots of talent in America. But unfortunately, there's something else we've got way too much of. Childhood hunger. 17 million kids struggle with it in this country. But here's the thing. This problem is entirely solvable. Seriously, we already produce more than enough healthy, nutritious food in this country to feed every single last one of those hungry kids. We just need a way to get it to them. That's why the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks is out there every day gathering surplus food to give hope to hungry kids and their families all across the country. But they need your help. Join me in supporting Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org. Together we can solve hunger. Together we're Feeding America.
A message from Feeding America and the Ad Council.
And now, back to One Mic.
What are we waiting for? Let's get to it.
With Big Mike.
Wait. No doubt, Monday here on the One Mic with Big Mike show, live and direct, coming at you on Spreaker.com, also the Spreaker app on TuneIn, and of course, One Mic with BigMike.com. Had to send out a search party for this young lady from the other day. We had a little,
not at all.
Had a little mix up with the time zones and all this kind of stuff. She was out there in L.A. enjoying Cinco de Mayo with the essays and the poppies and the mommies a little too much. But we caught up with her. She's actor, comedian, writer, funny woman, Miss Melanie Comarcho. Wait a minute, Melanie. Wait a minute. I got to give you the full. There it is. All right. Now we're in the building. How are you, ma'am?
I'm blessed, and yourself?
Hey, I can't complain. I mean, I could, but who cares, right?
It ain't going to help.
Yeah, no one cares. Okay,
yeah.
So here's the first thing I got to ask you, the most important thing I ask you today at all. First of all, are you a meat eater? I know you live out there in L.A. Are you a meat eater, or are you one of them L.A.
Of
vegan?
course I am.
Okay, so here's the most...
As long as it's cooked.
Exactly.
As long as it's cooked.
So here's the most important question that you'll get from me. You go to Popeyes, you get the two-piece. Go to Popeyes, you get the two-piece big box. The lady or the guy on the speaker says, "Melanie, which 2 pieces of chicken can I get you? Which 2 pieces of chicken does Melanie Comarcho get with her 2-piece?"
2 wings.
Oh.
Sorry, 2 wings.
Check with the judges.
Big fat juicy one.
Judges? Nah.
Veggies up.
Nah. I think we can move on though. We can move on with our relationship. The correct answer that we were looking for. The correct answer we were looking for is a breast and a thigh. You get two colors.
Nah, that's probably what a man wants. Nah, I don't want no breast.
And white meat.
I don't want no breast.
The dark
Maybe
meat.
y'all want that.
All right.
Yeah, I like dark meat. That's for sure.
No doubt.
But I don't want no breast unless they on meat.
All right.
Oh my God.
Let's talk about you. Let's talk about you being a female in comedy. You've been in the game for a while. Like when your name came up, I was like,
20 years.
Yeah, I know Melanie Comarcho, man, from the Uptown day, or not Uptown, from the Def Jam days. Yeah. How things changed? Like over time, how have things changed? Because you got like 2. You're a woman and you're a black woman. So for you, how have things either gotten better, stayed the same, or gotten worse over time?
I've been blessed. I've been so blessed in this business being a female. I think it helps me not being this knockdown, drag-out, gorgeous chick. That always helps because, then the guys bring you on for other reasons besides telling jokes. And you don't usually last that long doing that. So, it's been nothing but a blessing to me. I have booked so many tours because I'm a female. And they needed a woman's point of view, and I brought that.
Speaking on being on the road,
a blessing for me.
How many days? How many days out of the year are you on the road?
well, it depends. If I'm on tour, shit, damn near the whole year.
Word?
But like now, I'm not on tour, and I probably, say 35 weekends out of the 52,
wow.
I'm gone.
Gosh, what's the male groupie situation looking like? Is that a thing in comedy?
I usually have a road manager on to help me with that problem.
Whoa, what's the problem?
Not a problem.
How's it? Dudes throwing like they boxes on the stage?
No. It's just the groupies be trying to come holler.
Yeah,
you know,
no doubt.
They trying to get it in before I get out of there, and I'm like, ooh, no, we won't be. None of that's going on.
The other voice that you're hearing.
You know,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I talk a lot of sex jokes, so by the time the show over, they thinking it's
going
down
on
and popping, but no, not at all.
The other voice that you're hearing is Miss Melanie Comarcho. Follow her on social media at Melanie Comarcho. So then, how does that work? With I don't know if you're married or you're single, but I'm
single.
Okay,
divorced.
So how does that work in your dating life? Like when guys are going out with you as a comedian,
hard.
do guys try to like out funny you?
Very hard, especially when I'm on tour. Oh, a lot. I keep meeting insecure men.
Okay,
so
we got to
they
delve
think
into that.
when I'm out, they see me on tour with whoever, Martin, Mike, Chris Tucker, and you doing something with somebody, and I don't date people I work with, so that's not true. That's how you stay working.
No doubt.
Female comics.
No doubt.
Don't screw the comics. Don't screw your peers, and you'll be all right.
Well, they say you can't find your honey where you make your money. Isn't that what the old folks say?
That's for sure. For sure. Don't get your honey where you make your money, because it's not going to be funny at the end of the day. That's for sure.
Are we still at the point where we're like, are people still like, I mean, she's funny for a chick, or have females ascended to the place now where it's just like, if you funny, you funny. If you not, you not. Where are we at with that in society?
That's how I am about it. And a lot of women think that, they'll watch me and the other veterans up there. And some women think that the more they swear, that's going to get them in. But that's hurting you more than it's helping you. I mean, I might talk dirty on stage, but I'm not using the F-bomb and the B. I'm not saying that. You might get, there's one joke I say that there's stuff you can eat that'll make your thing hard, and then that word. But I haven't even done that joke in a while. It was a joke request, and I did it not too long ago because somebody requested it. But, it's put back into my, shelf of of jokes. I got new ones now. And so you just got to be careful.
How'd you realize you wanted to be a comedian? Like, at what point in life were you like, you know what, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell jokes. Did you have a certain moment that happened?
No, it was a dare.
No doubt.
It was a dare. Someone dared me to do it. I got up there. The people at the Comedy Act Theater thought I was funny. They wanted to know if I could come back. I was married at the time with 2 kids and working a full-time job. My husband was like, and I was going to school. So my husband was like, pick one. Because I'm not Mr. Mom. I'm not going to be here babysitting while you chasing your dreams. I got dreams, too. So when school got out in January or December, I didn't go back in January. I started doing comedy in January of 92. And I ended up booking Def Comedy Jam in January of 93.
No doubt.
So I was like, this is my destiny. And I got laid off the same day I booked my Def Comedy Jam. So if that ain't God trying to tell you something, I don't know what it is. And I have not had to work a 9-to-5 since 1993. So that's telling me this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
There it is.
And I'm doing it well. I'm having a ball with it. I thank God that I get to meet all these my fans are some of the coolest people on the planet. I love my fans. I don't have no problem with talking to any, and I don't care what you look like, what color you are. If you my fan, I love you back.
There it is.
And so, I got the coolest fans on the planet, and I've been blessed with nothing but all the guys treat me like a sister. I love them all. The big guy, comedian. So just keep doing you and stick to you.
Right.
They already got a Cheryl Underwood. They already got a Samore. There's already a Melanie Comarcho. You don't try to imitate those. Do you. Talk about your life and whatever's going on with you. Bring that to this if you want to be noticed. Other than that, they're going to say, oh, well, we can go get her.
Right.
We'll go get the real Melanie or the real Cheryl or the real Samore. It's not going to get you in the door.
What do you know about the Def Jam reboot? Because I thought it was coming back. I saw the episode of it, but I thought it was going to give me like some nostalgia of every Friday night I got to sit down and watch dudes act a damn fool. But they only did one. They did one episode. Yeah, why did they only do one episode though?
I don't know what happened with that. They only did one. Maybe it got canceled after that one episode. I don't know.
It was mad funny.
But it was really funny.
Yeah, it was mad. It was crazy funny. It was different than the original.
Well, then I don't understand.
Because they did it out in L.A. You know how rambunctious it was in New York. Like cats all over the stage and losing their mind. It wasn't that same energy from the crowd. Obviously, because I guess L.A. has a different energy for live events. But the cast that was on stage,
that's what BET was.
Yeah, it was just funny
here in L.A. A lot of shows. Well, I just don't understand what it could be then. I didn't get an opportunity to check it out, so I didn't see that episode that did air.
Yeah.
All I know is sometimes you need to leave well enough alone. I mean, Def Jam went out with a bang. It was the business for years. People would come. That's not going to happen again, where people are sitting at home on Friday night waiting on Def Jam to come on.
That's how it used to be too.
I don't care who. They could bring Martin Lawrence back, and I don't think that would be the case again. I mean, just let it be. Some things is just like over. It was great at that time, and now it's time for something else.
Talking right now with comedian, actor, writer Melanie Comarcho. Make sure you guys follow her on social media everywhere at Melanie, MELANIE COMARCHO. What subject matters are off limits to you? I've asked a couple of comedians this. Rodney Perry told me that for him, it was like legends, people who were legends in the black community. Shane told me no one's off limits. If you do some dumb stuff, I'll come at you. And I guess everyone has a different threshold on where they're willing to go with their comedy. So what's yours?
I don't like to get too deep into politics or religion.
Especially not now? With your man in office?
Nah, not even now, because you don't know who's in your crowd. They might love you to death, but you might have nothing but Trump supporters in your audience. And you go up and dish Trump, and you're going to get booed. I don't care who you are. I've seen it here in L.A.
Yeah.
So I keep away. I might do a Trump joke or something like that, but I don't get too deep into it. I don't talk about religion. I love my God, and I'm not going to put him out there at all. I might put the people in the church on stage in my act, but as far as God, no. I did do a couple of jokes like even God got jokes. I know everybody done seen the lady with the booty on backwards. Yeah, God did that. Everybody done seen that. She can go get a surgery now and put it back where it go. They got all kind of shit now. You can go get your stomach put in your ass and your ass put in your titties. I'm like, what the hell is next? Fellas, I know y'all waiting on that surgery. I know y'all waiting.
Have you ever laughed at something that after you laughed at it was just like, you know what, I ain't crap. For example, I got one joke that sticks in my mind that's probably the worst joke, but I'm pretty bad guy myself, so I laugh at things like this. I don't remember who said it. It was a white guy. He said, you know the type of person you are by how long it took you to masturbate after 9/11. And then he said, for me, it was between the first and the second tower. And I just, I can't not laugh at that. It's ridiculous. It's way off base, but it's hella funny. So do you have something like that, whether it's in your act or you heard somebody else say it, that after you hear it and you laugh, you just be like, you know what? I ain't crap. I shouldn't laugh at that, but it's too funny not to.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, I don't know if I have any like that. I usually just laugh it off. I don't care. I haven't had any of that. I regretted laughing. That's what you say. You kind of regret it. Ooh, I shouldn't even laugh at that. No, every once in a while when I see maybe them doing some jokes about handicapped people, and it's funny, and then I'll be like, ooh, I shouldn't have. That's not nice to laugh at that. But ooh, that was funny.
Yeah, but funny is funny, right?
Something like that. Yeah, funny's funny. When they talk about the disabled, I feel bad laughing at that, but I still laugh.
Yeah, I just convinced myself that they want to be treated like the rest of us anyway. They don't want special treatment, so they should be able to get it the way everybody else gets. That's how I rationalize it in my mind.
There are comedians that are disabled, and that their whole bit is about their disability.
Yeah, that white dude, Josh Blue, right?
Yo, there's a couple of them out there, and you know what? As long as they're doing it, it's funny. But once somebody else that's not, disabled is doing it, then they get kind of upset about it.
Yeah.
Well, that's not funny. I'm like, yeah, it was.
A lot of comedians, a few comedians have told me, like, and I've heard people talk about the source. Like Kevin Hart has said, he's one that said the source of his comedy is pain, like things that have happened in his past that he just decided to turn around and use it as therapy and make people laugh with it. Do you have a similar situation like that, the source of your comedy?
I say some of it's mine and some of it is me. People tell me stuff.
Okay.
And so I'll take that and make it seem as if it's me that we're talking about when it's not, and I'll make that a joke.
Like the Bernie Mac situation with the kids.
I don't like to bring my personal life too much into my comedy.
Gotcha.
Any of business. No. Yeah.
Early on, who was your I don't want to call it influence, but who were some people that you looked at and kind of, like, somebody told me one time in radio, you can kind of be a mutt. You can kind of listen to a little bit of everybody and then develop who you are based on the people who you admire. Are those people existence within the Melanie Comarcho act, or are there other people in existence, other comedians?
Well, when I first started doing comedy, I was comedy illiterate. I hadn't seen Def Comedy Jam before I taped it. I had never seen it. I did not have cable, let alone, so I wasn't at home waiting on Friday nights until after. So when I actually booked Def Comedy Jam, I didn't even know what it was. And everybody was like, girl, you just booked that jam. I didn't know what it was. I just knew everybody else was happy for me. Hey, okay, cool. And so once I did see it, I didn't see a lot of feminine-looking women.
Okay.
Everybody looked a little suspect to me. Gotcha. And I was like, oh, well, let me bring some sexy to comedy. And when I started, I wore some thigh-high boots.
Oh, yeah.
When I first on the stage with a leopard jacket and a hat. No pants, no skirt, just a coat and some thigh-high boots. I said, well, let me try to bring that. I hadn't seen Adele or anybody that was on the Def Comedy Jam at that point. So only thing I used was Eddie Murphy. I had seen Eddie Murphy's Delirious and thought that was absolutely hilarious.
Absolutely.
But
I heard, the first time.
That's about the only thing.
I heard Delirious for the first time. I remember being a kid, and my sister was supposed to be babysitting, and she had a bunch of her friends over. They had like a little tape player. And here my little ass go hiding around the corner so I could hear it, so I can go back to school on Monday and tell everybody about these naughty jokes. Although the only thing I probably got out of it was I got some ice cream. I don't know what all the other stuff he was talking about. I was too young to understand it, but I knew what those cuss words was, and I took my ass to school. You from LA?
I started using them, huh?
Oh yeah, and I use them well now.
Well, you know what? I've been here since I was 6 years old, so pretty much.
Okay, so like
my parents moved to LA.
I wanted to ask you about the 25th anniversary of the LA riots last year, or not last year, last week, the 25th anniversary of the LA riots. What was going on with Melanie Comarcho when all that stuff was going on with Rodney King?
And I had just started doing comedy. I was still working on my job, and they let us all off early. And I'm racing to get my kids, see what's going on. The streets, the stores, everything had already been raided by the time I got out. I had ran out of gas trying to go to the gas station to get some gas, and they didn't care at that point who you were. They was burning up all the cars and whatever else was coming through.
Oh, doubt.
So, yeah. We matter of fact, my sister pushed my car with her car all the way back home so that, because I didn't have no money to buy no new car. So
that's true.
We pushed that sucker back to the house.
That's true.
And it was just crazy. It was crazy. It was scary. You didn't know what. My kids were little. Oh, God, that was a mess.
So when you see that kind of stuff coming up through that, and now you see what's going on right now, do you see that there's been any type of improvement of note in the way things were
Not
25
much.
years ago? Yeah, I don't think so either. You're right.
Not much. I mean, the gang said they were going to stop killing each other. That probably lasted about 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's still, if you come to L.A., you can still go past places that were destroyed by it, and they're still destroyed.
Wow.
They still haven't rebuilt yet. And they're probably not going to rebuild. I mean, everything's different now. Everything. It's jacked up.
Got a couple more minutes here with my guest, comedian, actor, writer, Miss Melanie Comarcho.
I just did a movie. I just directed, wrote, and starred in a movie called Boosters. I want you guys to look out for that. I mean, in every hood in America, every major city, probably some smaller ones too. Back in the day when crack was relevant, you could go anywhere.
What do you mean was relevant?
Tell them where you saw. Well, it's not as relevant as it is.
I got you.
Was then, and so.
What'd you say the name of it was again? Boosters. Okay, I got you. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So they would go steal. You would go tell them what you wanted, where you saw it at, and they'd go get it for you.
Absolutely.
And then you could have half or what was ever on the ticket. So it's just a comedy. It's a lot of comics in it, and they steal, and all the comics are the boosters. And the goal of the movie is to get his own legitimate business at the end, and he does, and they're boosting from him at the end.
No doubt. So
what
hold
goes
on.
around comes around.
So somebody who was a booster goes legit, but then folks start boosting his stuff?
Yes. Well, he was the boss. He didn't actually boost. He
Gotcha.
just ran the operation.
Now people come to get his stuff.
Right. Now he's opened his business, and he's getting a little taste of what he was doing, coming back to bite him. Just like everything you do comes back to you. You can bet that.
How competitive is the world of comedy for female? Like I've talked to some guys, and I've heard stories of fist fights on jokes because of people stealing jokes and things at each other. Like, what's the worst thing you've seen happen between two female or maybe more between female comedians in regards to the actual business of comedy?
I've never seen two comics fighting over a joke. I haven't seen. You get that more out of the guys than you do the girls.
Yeah.
The girls aren't trying to fight over no damn joke.
So then, what's the worst thing?
They'll fight over a man before they'll fight over a man before they fight over a joke. But I have never seen anything like that. Not that I've been a part of. I've seen more men wanting to come after a female than two females fighting. Oh, yeah. I've seen that. All the women do is throw a little shade at each other. Ain't nobody trying to put no paws on nobody.
Yeah. A couple more questions for you. You a sports fan? I checked out your Instagram. I saw you got some pictures on there with some athletes, Paul Pierce and those kind of guys. Are you a sports fan, or they just happen to be where you were at the time?
I'm a sports fan. I love the Lakers. I love basketball, period. But, I just happened to be with that picture you saw with Paul Pierce. That was at my boy's birthday party, which was so off the chain. What's his name? What's the box? Floyd Mayweather's birthday party.
Okay.
And it was sweet. Do you understand? It was unbelievable. I'm sitting there chilling, and next thing I know, here comes Justin Bieber.
No doubt.
Here comes Mariah Carey. Here comes, not Drake. Oh, God, what's the rapper here in L.A.? It was just star-studded. Everybody you could think of that could sing. SWV. All these people were going up. I'm like, are you kidding me? Wow. So he had everybody and their mama performing at his birthday party, and it was here in L.A., and it was off the chain.
Now, y'all got a bunch of teams out there, but they all kind of suck right now. What's good with that? You got two football teams,
you got
two basketball teams, you got two baseball teams. I think you got two hockey teams too, and they all kind of suck. Like, what's all that about?
I don't know what's going. Ain't that? That's what please say that again out loud, because I sure want to know what the heck is going on in L.A.
So you don't know either.
I don't know. I don't know either, but I would like to know. This is ridiculous.
Other than your movie,
you got all these teams and no winners.
Right. Other than your movie, what else you got going on? Tell the people where you're gonna be at where they can get information on where they can see Melanie Comarcho and all those kind of things.
You can catch me, like I said, you can catch me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I'll be in Newark, New Jersey on the 20th of May at Symphony Hall doing a throwback show to the Peppermint Lounge, which was a hot club that all the Def Jam comics went to back in the day. And so now they're doing a 20-year, and Bill Bellamy is hosting. He hosted that place there, and he's hosting that show. And we're gonna turn up. That's what we're going to do.
No doubt.
So that'll be May 20th. I just left Atlanta. Is that where you are?
That's where I am. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just left the Atlanta Comedy Theater. I just want to also give a shout-out to all the mothers out there. I'm a mother, and I want to shout out all the mothers.
And happy Mother's Day to you, ma'am. I appreciate you taking out the time to come join me. My search party came through for me, so we hunted you down, and it was all worth it, as a matter of fact. So hopefully we can do it again soon, my dear. Thank you. You still there?
Well, we doing it. Yeah, I'm there. I had lost you for a second.
All right. No, I was just saying goodbye. We'll do it again soon if you like.
Much love to you, Big Mike.
Appreciate it. Have a good one.
Much love. I enjoyed you.
Thank you.
Okay. Have a good one.
You too. That's Melanie Comarcho, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you guys are following her Twitter, Instagram, Facebook at Melanie, Melanie Comarcho. Writer, actor, comedian. Yeah, man, she's been around a while, man, but she don't look it. That black don't crack. I remember her. I still think I got a tape downstairs somewhere or in the attic somewhere that she's on, like a full VHS tape with just episode upon episode of Def Comedy Jam. So I appreciate her for taking time out to join my little situation here. You know what I said? I forgot to tell her too. She sounds like that aunt, like that cool aunt that like might catch you smoking weed or something, and then you think when she catch you in trouble, but then she grab the blunt and take a hit of it and tell y'all ass it's time for dinner, and don't let Big Mama smell this on you. Like that type of auntie. That's how her voice sounds to me. Like she's that person. I could see like someone doing like a like some animation in her using her voice doing that. All right, so let's take a break. I want to come back and knock this Lavar Ball situation out. 404-902-8104 if you want to get in on the conversation. You can also jump inside my live interactive chat room here on Spreaker. Just go to Spreaker, SPREAKER.com, or download the app from your app store. Then hit the little thought bubble icon you see on the streaming player. Or you can just make it easy on yourself. Go to the onemicwithbigmike.com website. Scroll down a little bit. You'll see a streaming player right there. Click that thought bubble, and boom, we in business. Don't forget my Facebook page. Give it a like at One Mic with Big Mike, and that's the same handle for my Twitter. Excuse me, my Twitter and my Instagram. Coming back with On This Day and a quick conversation on Mr. Lavar Ball. Should be interesting.
I have one question for you.
Do you or someone you know run a business that could benefit from additional exposure? The One Mic with Big Mike show is currently taking on new sponsors and advertisers. One Mic with Big Mike is currently syndicated across 8 different online platforms, and your company's name could be heard and seen across all 8 as well.
Let's get to work.
Please send all inquiries to Mike at onemicwithbigmike.com. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your continued support.
All I need is one mic.
So you see, son, good manners are very, very important. Someday, many years from now, when you're a grown-up, you'll be a man. And when you are, you should be a gentleman. Do you want me to go through it one more time?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Exactly. Always say please, thank you, you're welcome, and excuse me. Sit up straight, hold doors open for ladies. If a door's shut, then knock first. Don't burp, don't swear, don't speak with your mouth full, don't reach across people's plates, keep your elbows off the table.
What table?
And don't interrupt. While we're at it, don't stare, don't use foul language, don't call people names, but do remember people's names. Always share your toys, play nice, and cover your mouth when you cough or sneeze. On the bus, give up your seat to anyone who has trouble standing. Bottom line, treat others the way you'd like to be treated. Got it?
Got it.
And stop picking your nose.
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But spending just 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier and could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. For fun 2-minute videos to watch while brushing, visit 2min2x.org. That's 2min2x.org. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
One mic.
All I need is one mic.
What's the name of the show?
One mic with Big Mike.
You know, ain't nobody getting hurt, ain't nobody. You know, there's no crime being committed.
And they say his style is too urban for the radio.
This is real life stuff that's happened to me.
Well, you know what?
You, and you.
One mic with Big Mike.
I like to be able to do what I want to do.
A sports talk show, but no subject matter is off limits.
Meek Mill's concert is not called the Hell Yeah, I Banged Khloe Kardashian concert.
And now, your host.
Put your hands together for the one, the only
Big Mike.
All I need is one mic.
And welcome back to the Monday edition of the One Mic with Big Mike show. So thousands of bottles of gin are being recalled for being too strong. Canadian authorities recalled bottle of Bombay Sapphire Gin because they contain 77% alcohol, not the mandated 40. My God, that's double in my math, my public school math. That's almost double. You getting effed up. Authorities with the Canadian Food Inspection Agency told consumers to throw out the bottle or do a return. Good luck on that. No one has reported getting sick from the overproof alcohol. You damn right. They ain't getting sick. They getting effed up. Do people still drink gin though? Like I don't drink no more. I haven't drank in years, but I know gin used to be a thing when Snoop Dogg was rapping about it. But are regular adults still partaking in gin? That just seems like gin is it's like fuel, like gas or something. Doesn't seem I'm not an alcohol guy anyway. Like I've never enjoyed the taste of alcohol, and I've never understood how people did. Like when I did drink, it was to serve a purpose, just to get there. You know what I mean? Get all the way right. Anyway, let's take a look back.
Now, let's take a look back. On this day.
All right, for your Monday edition of On This Day. On this day in 1866, Australian rules football was created. No helmets, just people getting busy, knocking the hell out of each other. On this day in 1878, Paul Hines, he made baseball's first ever unassisted triple play. On this day in 1961, the New Yorkers selected a new name for their new National League Baseball franchise. They chose the Mets, the New York Metropolitans, who, by the way, apparently give out fleshlights. Did y'all see that story? Something with Matt Harvey or something of that nature, but there was a fleshlight in someone's locker during an interview. Shout out to them. It goes back to my story from Friday that people say, the doctors say you should masturbate at work. So, whatever, get it in. On this day in 1966, Frank Robinson of the Baltimore Orioles became the first player to hit a ball completely out of Cleveland's Memorial Stadium. On this day in 1967, Muhammad Ali, a.k.a. Cassius Clay, was indicted for refusing induction into the U.S. Army. On this day in 1971, same day, 4 years later, Joe Frazier defeated Muhammad Ali at New York's Madison Square Garden. It was Ali's first defeat of his pro career. On this day in 1973, in Cincinnati, Ralph Miller, the last of the 19th century baseball players, died at the age of 100. On this day in 1984, the Russians, the Soviet Union, announced they would not participate in the 1984 Olympics in Los Angeles. And then finally, on this day in 1988, Michael Jeffrey Jordan of the Chicago Bulls completed the first round of the playoffs with 226 points in 5 games. Before you pull out your calculators, I did it already. It's 45 points a game. Yeah. That's real deal Holyfield. That was those was that the Craig Elo team or 88? Yeah. I think Ron Harper had moved on by then. So you're talking Craig Elo, Brad Daugherty, Hot Rod Williams, of course Mark Price was on that squad. That is your Monday edition of On This Day. All right. So we gotta try to find a way to put a bow on this whole Lavar Ball situation, man. I know this is some of y'all y'all feel like it's got something to do with supporting the brother and all that. Look, man, your brother's trying to take your draws because he's trying to rob you blind. And it's not even just because of the price of the shoe. We've talked about that. I've given you guys my summation on why the shoe is $495. Even more so now, there's even more of a reason for me to think it's some felonious stuff going on with him. One, him and two of his sons, the one that's coming out, I guess, of high school to UCLA next year, and Lonzo, I guess they were at some basketball game. Somebody caught him on, took a picture of him. The two boys got on Jordans, and your man got on Adidas. It's like, come on, man. It's like what I was saying the other day. It's like, you expect me to believe that you got these shoes that when people was talking about 5,000 ordered. Okay, first of all, I think it was then confirmed that it was only 250 pair, and then he was on Shannon and Skip's show today, and he just pulled a number out his ass in straight Trump style, man. How many have? Anyway, let me not do that. Let me read you guys, portions of this interview so you can just hear for yourself how ridiculously stupid my man sounds, man. That he couldn't even answer just basic questions. Not as a businessman, just as a competent human being. He says, quote, I expected this reaction. The fact that people are losing sight. The fact that people are losing sight. They're looking at the price tag and not understanding that Lonzo's shoe is symbolic. That comes with a price tag. You already losing me, cuz. Like, a symbolic of what? He goes on to say. Symbolic, as he's the first one to ever come out here without even playing a game and have his own brand. Well, that sounds to me like you're downgrading the kid now. You know what I mean? Because you're giving people the actual reason why. It's like, why would I buy those? And why would I pay $500 for them? You just said why I shouldn't. It's not just a shoe. You just go in a store or something like that and you say, you know what? Let me get the Kyrie, the LeBron. By the way, throw in the Zoe 2. He goes on to say the Zoe 2s mean something. That's why the price tag is like that. That's what the shoe is worth. Like, he don't even understand market research. Like, that's how people price their sneakers, right? They price the Jordans based on market research. They figure out what people are willing to pay and where they can maximize. They can maximize the profit of them. Like, he seems to think, if you read this interview, he seems to think that people just sit around the room and just like throw darts at prices, and then when they get to one that seems cool, that's what the shoe is going to cost. Like P&L statements don't exist. You know what I mean? You know what you paid for it. You know what it took to make it. You know what it takes to store it and manufacture it and those type of things. And you know what you need to justify a reasonable profit. And reasonable, obviously, is subjective. So Skip Bayless asked this dude, did you seek advice to come up with the $495? Or was that and then I guess he cuts him off, which I think is a very legitimate question. Who did you talk to, my man, before you came to that price point? Well, here's your answer. No, I didn't have to seek no advice because it's mine. And I want y'all to pay attention to something too, as I read these quotes. How much of this that's supposed to be Alonzo, the Zoe 2 is Alonzo's shoe. I want y'all to pay attention to how much he's saying, my shoe, I did this. This is me, which just goes back to a lot of people's criticisms of him is that this ain't about them kids. This is about you. This is about the grown man who failed at what he wanted to be and now is just using his kids to achieve some sort of notoriety. Not really understanding that what you're seeing is fleeting, man. Like all that nonsense that y'all like to talk about, him getting free advertising. Free advertising for what? If there's no product, they don't even have the shoe. So Skip kind of presses him on it. And how did you arrive at $495? This is a gem of an answer. I think that's what the shoe is worth. I think that's a lie, first of all. I think he's lying. That he didn't just come up with that number, because then why not 485? Why not 500 even? You know what I mean? Like what's that $5 gonna do? I think he realized the same thing that I'm talking about right now is in case you don't know, he's acting as his son's agent. And a lot of times what happens with agents, as you see like guys like Taj Boyd, damn it, Deshaun Watson and a couple of these other kids who just got drafted immediately. They haven't even signed deals yet, but they've gotten their mom's cars and things of that nature. Well, that's because they're able to take out loans based on their future earnings. And because Lavar Ball is acting as his son's agent, he don't really need an agent. I'm not on that stuff. He don't need an agent to be drafted as a lottery pick in the NBA, because the money is slotted anyway. All it is, you wasting money. You wasting your 3-4%, whatever it is, by doing that, because the money is what it's going to be. But what it will afford him to do would be to act as his power of attorney in certain areas and go take out loans based on his son's future earnings. And when I hear, oh, it's just, I just came up with this number. Nah, that sounds to me like a dude that's in debt and he needs to overprice his stuff. It's like going to a restaurant. You can go get, at some restaurants, you can get the same quality food, but it not cost as much at one place because they found a way to lower the cost on the material that they're making the food with. And some newer restaurant might still be paying freight, be paying, actual wholesale prices for whatever it is they're cooking up. Same thing with this dude. Ain't nobody giving him no deals on nothing. He's paying full freight. So yeah, of course you're gonna come out and say, yeah, the shoe is $4.95 because I said so. You a liar. Nope. I think the reason is his pride won't let him tell people that I'm about to get beat over the head for these damn shoes if I don't sell these things. So moving on. He goes in the Shaq. I don't know if you guys saw that. Shaq said that he said it's I don't know what he called it. He said something about him marketing a $500 shoe to kids, and of course Shaq used the opportunity to pump up his shoe. LeVar says, just like Shaq was saying, oh, LeVar, you need to make it for kids. No, that's your lane. You make it for them. They've got 2 lanes they can come in. Well, no, because you're not necessarily a lane right now. I still don't believe in my heart of hearts that there is a product. There are some T-shirts with some letters on them, and there's a prototype made for a commercial. But if you know, like I know about prototypes, they're not made for functionality. They're made to be. It's like when people put pancakes on screen for like IHOP. That's motor oil that they're pouring on there to make it look thicker and more viscous. They're props. You can't eat it. He goes on to say he makes his shoe, his Shaq Attack. How come his son don't wear it? See, my son will wear my shoe. Well, that's a lie, because we got photographic evidence that your sons don't wear your shoe. They wear the shoe of the man that you feel like you need to keep coming after, who you're not even on his radar. I can't even imagine a scenario in which LeVar Ball is on Michael Jordan's radar. When it comes to anything, to be honest with you, anything at all. But again, that's another lie. My son wear my shoe, and he says, he says my shoe. He keeps saying my. This is my thing. I thought it was about the kid. That's what he kept saying before. This is a dude that's really starting to believe his own hype, and he's a hustler. He's like a used car salesman, and all y'all that's getting all up in this. Well, I mean, he may not have sold 5,000, but he sold 500. That's still like $100,000. Nah. And remind me not to do business with any of you jerks, because apparently you don't know how business work. The shoe didn't come free to him. He got to pay people first. Y'all talking about gross. We talking about net profit. There's a good chance there's none of that. There's a good chance he's getting none of that, because when you do take those loans out, and this is me just speculating, when you take those loans out against future earnings, they have high-ass interest rates on them. High-ass interest rates, dude. A lot of these dudes just look at it as like Deshaun Watson probably looking at it as I'll just pay the car off immediately after I get my signing bonus. That's probably so the interest don't really make a damn difference to him at that point. Y'all getting the game effed up and letting this dude run a damn scam on y'all. So Skip asked them this: can you give us some idea of how many have been ordered? That's a pretty mumbo jumbo, plain Jane question, right? Someone says, somewhere between this number and this number. This dude says, quote, just look at me and you tell me. This is proof positive right here. And what he's talking about is the fact that he got on a damn suit on the show. What the hell is happening? What the hell is really happening? Even like Shannon apparently says, hold on. The shoes drop on Thursday and you got a tux on Monday. This idiot don't even know that Shannon Sharp is giving it to his ass. Yep, that's how it's rolling. You see it because you got on a tuxedo, my G. Yeah, man, this dude is, and he ain't even a good con artist. He's like the bad, like skeevy, slimy, like ridiculous kind. You know, that thinks he's got, like the dude that is the smartest guy in the room at all time, and everybody with some damn sense is just looking at him like, what the hell are you talking about, man? Nothing you're saying is making any sense. He goes on to say, when he asked him about the tweet he sent out, if you can't afford the ZO2s, you're not a big baller. So Shannon asked him about that. Here's another lie. I didn't say if you can't afford $495. This is exactly what he said. That's exactly what he said. That's like some Trump stuff. Like, you said it. It's on record. Multiple places. But all of a sudden, now you didn't say it because you realize how stupid it sounds. If you don't cop the ZO2s, you're not a baller. That's what he tried to clean it up and say. He didn't say if you can't afford the $495. He just said if you don't cop the ZO2s, as though that makes that big of a difference. So Skip, he hits him again with it. You know what I mean? As you should. Don't let him off the damn hook. Give us some idea of how it's selling. Well, this is Lavar. Well, it's selling on the fact that it's a good shoe. It looks good. It's a family thing. Did anybody hear an answer to the question? Give us an idea of how it's selling. That dude said it's a family thing. It's a good shoe. So Skip, again, for the third time, is asking the same question again. But how many orders? Can you give us a vague ballpark? He's not even asking them for up to the minute total of shoes being sold. Just give us a vague ballpark. I'll give you a vague ballpark. Give me a number. He's telling them to give him a number. How about $495? And then Skip says, you've had 495 orders? Anybody see how ridiculously Trumpian that is? Like the number that's been in your head this whole time, you just kind of just throw that out there. Which tells me it's a lot less. And also what it tells me, when you talk about a dude like this, because he's shown everyone who he is. If it had been 500 pair of sneakers, or if it had been 1,000 or 5,000 like was reported, we wouldn't have to get that from nobody else. We wouldn't have had to get that number from nobody else. He's the dude that's going to tell you immediately what's really popping. So yeah, y'all can keep talking about all this free ad space and all this free ad time. None of that matters if you don't have a product. All you doing is filling time because there's nothing else to talk about in sports, and people's like, all right, whatever. Let's go get the circus clown and put him on TV, on radio or whatever. And in the whole time this is all happening, while now apparently this is his shoe. It says ZO2, but apparently it's his shoe. He keeps on saying that now. While all this is happening, his son gonna be catching it next year, B. You think dudes like Draymond and dudes like the Morris boy, both of them, the twins, they ain't gonna be letting this dude have and it ain't even his fault. Did y'all hear that rap he did? He rapped over a Drake beat. Yeah, it was interesting. I should have actually pulled the sound and played it for y'all, but yeah, you can Google it, and I'm gonna try to put it on I'll put it on my website, onemicwithbigmike.com, in the video section when I get a chance. Yeah, it's something to behold, man. But this LaVar Ball situation, y'all gotta stop. Y'all gotta just stop, relax, pull back. Like, this is not your man. This is the dude. Like, just me talking about him, you should be checking for your wallet right now. It's not even him. Just, you should be checking for your wallet, because he's that skeevy ass, slimy ass, I know everything ass dude that have you pumping your money into some company that don't exist. My G got a t-shirt company, and he keep throwing this word out here, brand. There is no brand, B. I'm looking at the picture right now. of his sons with the Jordans on and him with the Adidas on. And they got the Baller brand T-shirts on and hoodies. Yeah, y'all getting taken to the cleaners. I told y'all before, man, it's not enough for you to just share a lineage with me. We're both black. So I have to say good things about him. No, dude, he's an idiot. He's a used car salesman, all of the above. He's a hustler. He trying to take people for their money, man. He ain't trying to give y'all no product for real. And if he do got orders, good luck getting them, man. Good luck getting them filled. Because he seemed like a Ponzi scheme ass dude. Like, he's going to take that money and try to pay back. Either one, pocket it while being in debt. Like, don't be surprised if you hear in like 6 months his kid been in the league and somebody's coming after the kid, for defaulting on loans. Don't be surprised if it happened. And remember where you heard of that first, because that's what it looks like to me. Outside looking in, it looks exactly that way. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here for the night. Got basketball coming up in a little while. Let me make sure I said everything I need to say about this dude though, real quick. And even when we start talking about like them not wearing the sneakers, even when Steph Curry, when his dad shoes came out, his brother Seth Curry was rocking them joints. You know what I'm saying? Like, they was on site, they was available for this cat to rock. Not, like, how much confidence am I supposed to have in your product when you don't even have the confidence and the real confidence, not just the bravado, but the real confidence in the product? Yeah, I'm good. I mean, I was already good, like 500 bones, something I put on my feet. Nah, I go pay $500 something I can put on my car. It's something that takes gas. You know what I mean? I don't walk no damn where. All right, that's going to do it, man, for the One Mic with Big Mike show here on a Monday. We'll come back again, try to do it on Wednesday. I'm looking forward to booking a certain guest, but nothing concrete yet, so we'll see what it is, man. Make sure you guys spread the word. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Appreciate you, my man, Emmett Bean, Reggie, Big L. Appreciate y'all guys for joining me and holding me down tonight. The show is available on demand. Spreaker.com, Spreaker.com. It's like speaker, but just put an R in between the P and the E. Spreaker also has an app. You can also catch the show on demand on TuneIn. On my website, One Mic with Big Mike, the number 1, MIC, WITHBIGMIKE, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Google Play Music, and YouTube. And make sure you guys are liking my Facebook page, following me on Twitter and Instagram. They all have the same handle, at the number 1, MIC, WITHBIGMIKE. All right, we'll come back. Thank you again also to Melanie Comarcho. Thank you to her for making up the day we missed on Friday. I appreciate her doing that. Yeah, so we'll come back and do it again on Wednesday. Hump Day, Woman Crush Wednesday. Don't forget, all you need is one mic.